You reserve a spot at cafes, sure. Yet, what about booking ahead of time just to get a spot on the sand at the seashore? That is actually what some beachgoers should do in Spain this late spring. On account of the coronavirus emergency, Canet Berenguer, a Mediterranean town found only north of Valencia, will just permit 5,000 everyday sunbathers on its neighborhood seashore, around a large portion of the typical number, so as to keep up social removing. These spaces should be saved ahead of time by means of a cell phone application. There'll be more space between your neighbor, like a business-class seashore. Canet will utilize a matrix example to partition its expansive level seashore into square areas, each isolated by 2 meters (6 feet). The areas are to be outlined by laying a progression of nets on the sand that seem as though tremendous soccer goal line nets to oblige greater gatherings of sunbathers. Beachgoers will be permitted to book a sunbathing meeting for either the morning or evening, yet not throughout the day. As per the civic chairman, sunbathers can save any accessible region. Much like choosing seats online at a cinema, and appearance times will be lurched to stay away from swarms. Passages to the seashore are additionally to be diminished. When they show up and affirm their booking with staff, beachgoers will be directed to their dispensed area. Anthony thinks about the bookings ahead of time and amazed appearance times a fundamental measure. I wouldn't have the option to control the progression of individuals without the new measures. They would be all together, defiling one another, he clarifies. Canet Berenguer isn't the main Spanish town picking to restrict seashore get to this late spring. Over in Galicia, on the Atlantic Ocean, Sanxenxo will just permit sunbathers passage on a first-come, first-served premise. In any case, Mayor Telmo Martin says he isn't stressed over groups framing at the seashore passages. We need to think of arrangements so can have a sense of security from a well-being point of view. I request duty from all. Sanxenxo, arranged only an hour's drive north of the Portuguese outskirt, expects to permit a limit of 75% of its typical beachgoers. The town, one of northern Spain's top visitor goals, is additionally selecting framework examples of segments for sunbathers within any event 1.5 meters (5 feet) between them, on its principal seashore. Moreover, wooden presents with strings joined on structure little squares for only a couple of sunbathers, or bigger ones for a greater gathering, will be included, as indicated by Martin. City laborers are to control access to the seashore, going with bathers to each segment. In any case, beachgoers here will not, at this point, have the option to possess a recognized throughout the day, essentially by leaving their towels on it. On the off chance that they leave for lunch, they lose their spot to other people. Says Martin, the two towns are intending to clean the seashores more regularly than in past summers, with Canet lifting the thick nets off the sand every morning to let cleaning machines through. Over in Sanxenxo, the cleaning machines will just pass through the lines of wooden posts, similar to tractor through vineyards. The open restrooms and shower regions will likewise be sterilized routinely, while the two towns would like to open their seashores in June. Any affirmed dates will at last rely upon the de-escalation from Spain's highly sensitive situation, which has been as a result since March 14. The Spanish government has quite recently begun to gradually lift the severe home repression limitations. However, any further changes are subject to low contamination rates in explicit domains that authorities state must have emergency clinics prepared to deal with a potential second rush of coronavirus. It's new for us all, says Martin, an individual from the traditionalist Popular Party, who's been civic chairman of Sanxenxo for a sum of 8 years across 2 terms. Individuals are now disclosing to me they need much more space on the seashore, says Canet's Antoni Corda, the Socialist Party part who was chosen as civic chairman only 8 months prior. Canet has planned €500,000 for its extraordinary seashore plan this mid-year. while Sanks and EXO will incorporate its exceptional arrangement inside its €3.5 million financial plan for summer exercises, state the City Hall leaders. The two towns have little or perpetual populaces that fourfold in the mid-year, when low-maintenance occupants rush to their getaway homes, and visitors who are either going through or remaining in inns around hit the seashores. Reservations are not. The mid-year in these two towns will be a trial of whether beachgoers can remain in their doled-out zones, and to a great extent remain separated from others, state the two civic chairmen.